2026 has brought us some of the most incredible hearing aid technology I've seen in my 20-year career. Artificial intelligence that can isolate speech in environments that used to be impossible. Invisible devices that don't sacrifice a single premium feature. Battery life measured in days instead of hours. But with the 6 major manufacturers all claiming to have the best hearing aid, how do you know which one actually delivers? That's what I'm going to show you today. I'm Dr. Layne Garrett, founder of Timpanogos Hearing and Tinnitus in Utah. My team and I have spent months putting the top hearing aids through real-world testing, and I'm going to give you the complete breakdown of what works, what doesn't, and which device might be the perfect fit for your hearing loss in 2026. Shopping for hearing aids can feel completely overwhelming. Hearing aid manufacturers throw terms around like DNN 360 directionality and deep neural network processing. Online reviews contradict each other so badly you don't know who to trust. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking, I just want to hear my grandkids. Do I really need to have a PhD to make this decision? I get it, and that's why I cut through all the marketing noise. My team and I spent months testing the 6 most talked about hearing aids in 2026. The Widex Allure with sound so natural musicians swear by it. The tiny ReSound Vivia with AI processing. The brand new Starkey Omega AI that's basically a health tracker that also happens to help you hear clearly everywhere you go. The Phonak Infinio Ultra Sphere that crushes background noise like nothing else. And Oticon's 2 devices, the Intent with 4D sensors that track your movement, and the Zeal, the first truly complete invisible hearing aid. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which hearing aids make sense for your situation. No sales pitch, no manufacturer biased. Just honest truth about what works. And yes, I'll tell you which one I'm personally wearing and why. And I've worn them all. Let's get into it. Before I dive into the individual hearing aids themselves, I need to address something. Anyone who tells you there's a single best hearing aid for everyone is either misinformed or they're trying to sell you something. Think about it. Would you trust a doctor who prescribed the same medication for every patient regardless of their condition? Your hearing loss has a unique pattern. Your lifestyle creates unique challenges. Even your ear canals have unique shape. All of this matters when selecting the right hearing device. This is why I'm passionate about educating people to work with hearing providers who offer multiple brands. And this is critical. They need to use real ear measurements. That's the verification process that ensures your hearing aids are programmed correctly for your ears and not just set to factory defaults. In our testing process, we didn't set up some artificial lab test and call it good. We've used these hearing aids with our patients, and because many members of my staff have some hearing loss, we wore these hearing aids the way you would use them too. That means we took them everywhere. Church on Sunday, lunch at a busy cafe on Main Street, family gatherings where everyone's talking at once, golfing on windy afternoons, business meetings, phone calls, Netflix marathons, everything. We measured success across 3 key areas. Performance and noise in real environments. Does it help you understand speech when there's background noise? Does music still sound like music, or does it sound robotic and processed? Can you have a conversation while walking, or does every step create distracting noise? These are situations that really do matter. The next one was practical technology. I'm not interested in gimmicks. Does the artificial intelligence improve your hearing experience or just drain the battery? Is the Bluetooth connection reliable when you're on an important call, or does it cut out randomly? Can you stream a podcast during your morning commute without the battery in your hearing aid dead by lunch? Do the app controls make your life easier, or are they just complicated for the sake of being complicated? Then there's battery reality. Hearing aid manufacturers always quote the best case scenario. I wanted worst case scenarios. What happens when you stream music all morning, take calls all afternoon, and still need to hear at dinner? Which hearing aids survive that, and which ones leave you scrambling for a charger? If you're getting serious about treating your hearing loss, you can download our free resources at besthearingaidreport.com. You'll find information about all these hearing aids, the hearing aid appointment prep sheet that will help you ask the right questions of your audiologist so you can advocate for yourself and get the best possible outcomes. Now let's start talking about the hearing aids. First up is the Widex Allure. Widex takes a very different approach than every other hearing aid company. While other hearing aid manufacturers race to add more AI processing and noise reduction algorithms, Widex has stayed focused on one question: How do we make hearing aids sound more like natural hearing? The result is something they call pure sound technology, which processes incoming sound in less than a millisecond. Most hearing aids introduce a noticeable delay while they analyze and process sound. That delay makes some hearing aids sound artificial or tinny. The Allure eliminates that almost entirely. In practice, when you're having a conversation, voices sound like human voices instead of voices coming through a speaker. When you hear birds chirping, they sound like birds, not like a bird recording. For musicians, and I say this as someone who plays the trombone and piano, this is transformative. Complex sounds like piano chords or layered harmonies don't get that weird warbling effect that makes many other hearing aids unusable for music. The Widex Allure runs on Widex's W1 chip with precision hearing technology. The Speech Enhancer Pro feature brings forward the frequencies where speech happens, and the app is straightforward and lets you make adjustments from your iPhone or Android device. Now, Widex did make an interesting design choice with the Allure. They prioritized natural sound over aggressive noise cancellation. What that means in real life is if you're outdoors and the wind picks up, you'll hear more of that compared to other hearing aids on this list. It's not unbearable, but it is there. For some people, that's fine because it feels more natural. For others who spend a lot of time outside, it can be a little frustrating. On a full charge, you're looking at about 25 hours with normal use. If you're streaming constantly though, a lot of phone calls or listening to music all day, that can drop significantly. If you value sound quality that feels organic and real over maximum noise suppression, the Allure really does deliver. Especially if you listen to music, play an instrument, or spend most of your time in relatively controlled environments where extreme noise reduction isn't your top priority. Before I move on to the next hearing aid, hit that like button. It helps more people find videos like this when they're searching for honest hearing aid information. And subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss future content where I break down the real science behind treating hearing loss and tinnitus. The next hearing aid on my list is the ReSound Vivia, which is ReSound's entry level into the AI hearing aid category. It was launched in early 2025 as their smallest model with a dedicated AI chip. ReSound has always been strong on app integration and remote connectivity. They took that foundation and added artificial intelligence that they call intelligent focus. Instead of just amplifying sound or using traditional directional microphones, the Vivia's AI chip analyzes the acoustic environment in real time and makes decisions about what to emphasize and what to reduce. At a family dinner with multiple conversations happening, dishes clinking, maybe a TV on in the background, the Vivia works to identify speech patterns and bring them out while pushing other sounds back. You can activate this through the app when you need it, or you can let it run automatically. Size is where the Vivia excels. ReSound packed this technology into what they claim is the smallest micro hearing aid with an AI chip. If discretion is your top priority, that's impressive engineering. The Vivia comes with Bluetooth LE audio and Auracast built in, which makes it future ready. When public venues start installing Auracast transmitters, which is happening more and more here in 2026, you'll be able to directly connect to those systems, places like museums, theaters, airports, and places of worship. You'll get up to 30 hours on a charge with normal use. If you're running the AI Intelligent Focus feature constantly, that drops closer to 20 hours, but that's still solid. You can toggle it on or off based on what you need. In terms of sound quality, the Vivia performs well in most situations. I found it handled quiet to moderate noise reasonably well. When I pushed it into extremely challenging environments like that packed cafe I mentioned earlier, the AI showed some benefit, but the improvement was modest compared to some of the more mature AI platforms on this list. This is ReSound's first generation with this level of onboard processing. It's functional, but it's not where I'd typically turn first when a patient needs maximum performance in noise. Their app interface is well designed and gives you good control, which is consistent with ReSound's strengths. But in my clinic, I tend to reach for other options when a patient presents with a more complex listening challenge. This works best for someone whose absolute top priority is having the smallest possible hearing aid and who spends most of their time in quieter, more controlled listening environments. The Vivia works well for patients with less demanding auditory lifestyles who value discretion above all else. Now let's talk about the Starkey Omega AI. It was released in October 2025 and represents a significant leap forward from their previous Edge AI. Starkey positioned themselves differently from every other hearing aid manufacturer. While everyone else focuses almost exclusively on hearing performance, Starkey asks a bigger question. What if your hearing aids could help you stay healthier overall? The Omega AI is their answer, and they executed it brilliantly. DNN360 uses deep neural network processing to analyze sound coming from all directions and can maintain speech clarity from 360 degrees while still reducing background noise. Starkey's research shows this provides up to 28% better speech understanding in tough listening environments and improves your signal-to-noise ratio by up to 8 decibels. In real-world use, I've seen these improvements translate to patient success. But Edge Mode Plus is where the Omega AI shines, and this feature is exceptional. You activate it with a simple double tap when you suddenly find yourself in an unexpected, difficult listening situation. Maybe you planned a quiet lunch with a friend, but you get seated next to a large party celebrating a birthday. Instead of struggling through the meal or fumbling with your phone to adjust settings, you just reach up and tap your hearing aid twice, and Edge Mode Plus delivers instant, dramatic clarity enhancement. I cannot overstate how well this works in noisy environments. Patients come back from restaurants, family gatherings, and crowded events amazed at the difference. One patient told me it was the first time in years that she could follow conversation at her grandson's basketball game. That's the kind of real-world performance Edge Mode Plus delivers. It excels in challenging acoustic situations where other hearing aids still struggle. The health features are more than marketing gimmicks here too. Fall detection can automatically alert your emergency contacts if you take a fall. Activity tracking counts steps and monitors your engagement. And an industry first, automatic respiratory rate monitoring. Your hearing aids track your breathing in the background without any impact on battery performance. You might ask, why does that matter? Well, it's because respiratory rate is one of the 4 vital signs healthcare providers monitor. Having that data could be valuable for managing overall health, especially for older adults. I've had family members specifically request these hearing aids when helping their aging parents select hearing devices. Starkey brought back the LED indicator lights on the Omega AI. These were missing on the Edge AI, and customers wanted them back. Now you can get visual confirmation of power, Bluetooth status, plus the LEDs double as a finder feature if you misplace your hearing aids. Small detail, but that does matter. Battery life is crazy good. 51 hours on a full charge. That's industry leading by a significant margin. The charging case holds multiple additional chargers too, so you could possibly go several days without plugging the case in. For patients who travel or who have active lifestyles, this changes everything. Sound quality is excellent, particularly in noisy environments where the DNN360 and Edge Mode Plus really deliver. The processing is assertive and speech forward, which some patients love because it provides exceptional clarity. Others who prefer a more subtle natural sound profile might think it's a bit aggressive. It's a trade-off, but for patients who need maximum performance and noise, it's the right trade. The Omega AI supports Bluetooth LE audio, which gives you direct streaming to both iPhone and Android devices. You can stream phone calls, music, and podcasts directly to your hearing aids with excellent sound quality. It also includes Auracast support for those public broadcast systems I mentioned earlier. The Omega AI is perfect for someone who spends time in challenging listening environments and needs hearing aids to perform exceptionally well in noise. If fall detection, activity tracking, and health monitoring matter to you or to your family members who worry about you, the Omega AI delivers features no other hearing aid offers. It's great for tech-forward people who appreciate having AI troubleshooting available 24/7. Next on the list is the Phonak Infinio Ultra Sphere, which has one job: help you understand speech in the worst acoustic environments imaginable. Everything else is secondary to that mission. The engineering behind this is really interesting. While most hearing aids use a single processing chip, the UltraSphere uses 2. One chip handles standard hearing aid processing. The second chip, which Phonak calls the Deep Sonic chip, is dedicated entirely to running a deep neural network that separates speech from noise. This dual chip architecture allows for processing power that a single chip just can't match. The result? Independent testing ranked the UltraSphere number 1 for speech understanding and noise. When you're in a restaurant where every table is full and the noise level is overwhelming, the UltraSphere creates what I describe as a clarity tunnel between you and whoever you're talking to. Phonak's stereo zoom technology uses both hearing aids working together to create a focused beam on that speaker in front of you. Bluetooth connectivity is excellent. You can pair multiple devices simultaneously, like your laptop, your phone, your tablet, and switch between them seamlessly. For people who work remotely or use multiple devices throughout the day, this is incredibly practical. The experience of wearing these in extremely noisy environments, the Ultrasphere is unmatched. I tested it in scenarios where other hearing aids struggled, and the Ultrasphere made conversation almost easy. That clarity does come with a trade-off though. The intense focus on what's in front of you means you're less aware of the full acoustic environment. Some people love this. They want maximum speech clarity and don't care about hearing everything around them. Others find it disorienting because it doesn't feel like natural hearing. The sphere mode itself, that maximum noise reduction processing, does drain the battery significantly when it's activated. You can't just leave it turned on all day because it will drain the battery way too fast. You use it strategically when you really need it. You'll get 15 to 24 hours of battery depending on your usage patterns. If you're streaming or using the sphere mode heavily, you'll be on the lower end of that. If you frequently find yourself in challenging acoustic environments, in restaurants, large family gatherings, conferences, anywhere that has a lot of competing background noise, and speech understanding is your absolute top priority, the Ultrasphere is actually built for you. Now, Oticon has two devices I want to talk about together because they share the same foundational technology but serve very different needs, the Intent and the Zeal. While other hearing aid manufacturers are just beginning to use deep neural networks to improve understanding and noise, Oticon pioneered their use in hearing aids years ago. Both the Intent and Zeal use Oticon's second generation deep neural net, which was trained on 12 million real-world samples. Their philosophy is different from Phonak's narrow focus or Widex's natural approach. Oticon calls it brain hearing. The idea is to support how your brain naturally processes sound rather than doing all the work for it. The Intent features 4D sensor technology, which is innovative. Most hearing aids adjust based on acoustic input only, what sounds are present in the environment. The Intent adds 3 more dimensions: head movement, body movement, and conversation dynamics. The hearing aid can actually track whether you're moving, and you're turning your head from side to side, or whether you're in an active conversation or listening passively. Then the artificial intelligence adjusts the sound processing based on your intent, what it determines you're trying to hear. This creates an experience where the hearing aids feel like they're working with your brain instead of replacing its function. You maintain awareness of your full environment while speech stays clear and accessible. Oticon claims that this gives you access to 35% more speech details. And what I noticed in testing is that conversations feel less effortful. You're not straining to understand, you're just hearing. In October 2025, Oticon upgraded the Intent with Bluetooth LE audio, Google Fast Pair for instant Android pairing, and Auracast readiness. They also added a new mini BTER style for people who need more power, making the Intent family much more versatile. Battery life is excellent at up to 24 hours with the DNN running constantly, which is significantly better than everybody else where you have to turn it on and off. The batteries also charge quickly. 15 minutes in the charger will give you 4 hours, and 30 minutes will give you 8 hours of use. If you forget to charge overnight, a quick morning charge will get you ready to get you through the day. Now the Zeal, this is the breakthrough in hearing aid technology. For years, those really small, completely in the canal hearing devices have been the compromise option. Want something invisible? Fine. But you're going to give up rechargeable batteries, you're going to give up advanced connectivity for your phone, and you're going to get some basic sound processing. The Zeal destroys all of these compromises. It's the first completely in the canal hearing aid that gives you everything. The same DNN 2.0 AI processing as the Intent, Bluetooth LE audio with streaming, Google Fast Pair, Auracast support, full rechargeability, and an accelerometer for tap controls, all in a device that sits discreetly in your ear canal. Well, how did Oticon do this? They used encapsulation technology borrowed from medical devices like pacemakers. Instead of building a shell and trying to fit the components inside, they optimized the internal components layout and then encapsulated everything in a single solid moisture-resistant structure. It's IP68 rated, which means it's highly protected against moisture and dust. The Zeal offers up to 20 hours of battery life. The smart charger is portable and will hold multiple charges. Sound quality matches the Intent. The same DNN 2.0 processing provides up to 12 decibels of noise suppression and 6 decibels of speech enhancement. You're getting flagship performance in an invisible hearing aid package. And the truly remarkable breakthrough is that about 2 out of every 3 people can be fit on the same day they come in with standard domes. If you need a custom micromold, that's available too. This makes the Zeal practical for audiologists to offer as an immediate solution rather than requiring an ear mold impression to be taken, multiple appointments, and waiting weeks before you start to hear better. The Zeal was released in the United States in February 2026 and truly represents a new category in hearing aid technology. The intent is perfect for someone who wants a balanced, sophisticated hearing experience where the technology adapts to you rather than requiring constant adjustments. That's particularly good for people who are in varied listening situations throughout the day and want hearing aids that just work intelligently in the background and don't require you to turn things on or off by tapping buttons. The Zeal is amazing for anyone who has avoided hearing aids because of visibility concerns, or experienced hearing aid users who are frustrated that their in-the-ear devices haven't offered modern features. The Zeal gives you flagship technology in a nearly invisible package. I want to hear from you now. Which of these hearing aids matches what you're looking for? The Widex Allure's organic sound, the ReSound Vivia's compact AI, the Starkey Omega's sound processing and health tracking, the Phonak Ultrasphere's noise performance, the Oticon's intelligent adaptation, or the Oticon Zeal's invisible design? Drop a comment and let me know what speaks to you. And if you're here in Utah and ready to take the next step in treating your hearing loss, I'd love to help you. My team at Timpanogos Hearing and Tinnitus has locations in American Fork and Spanish Fork. You can schedule an appointment by visiting our website. The link is in the description below. We follow best practices, including real ear measurements for every single person. We work with multiple brands, so we'll find the right solution that works for your unique needs. There you have it. 6 exceptional hearing aids, each bringing something unique to the table. The Widex Allure for the natural sound quality, the ReSound Vivia for the compactness, the Starkey Omega I for comprehensive health monitoring, the Infinio Sphere for maximum speech clarity and noise, the Oticon Intent for sophisticated adaptive hearing, and the Oticon Zeal for invisible, full-featured performance. The competition is better than it's ever been, and that's great news for you. More option means better chances of finding the right fit for your specific situation. While members of my team each have their preferences for their hearing, I wear the Widex Allure. And yes, I've personally tried all of the other ones, including the Zeal. Each one has impressive technology, but for my specific hearing loss and lifestyle, the Allure remains the right choice. My hearing loss is relatively mild, and the pure sound technology gives me clarity without feeling overprocessed. I don't need the aggressive noise management that some of these other hearing aids provide. And as someone who plays music regularly, the Widex is the only hearing aid where my piano and trombone sound completely natural. No digital artifacts, no weird warbling on complex chords, it just sounds right. That's exactly the point I want you to take away from this video. The best hearing aid is the one that matches your unique needs, not just the one with the most features or the highest price tag. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.